cut a hole here so we can mount our color monitor. There's a hole cut out there already because I used the vacuum port. We never used the vacuum. We got a Dyson, and we decided, or I decided, that I didn't like the vacuum, and I took it out. It was in the way. But before I took it out, I ran the cables down the hose because that gave it a nice smooth path through that mess of wire that's back there out into the cargo bay. Now I'm going to cut a hole in there, and I'm going to mount this in place. On the color control, there's a little metal retainer clip that you can take off of it, and that's what's going to be screwed into the wall to hold it in place. So we're on try like 10 of getting a wire down here. You can see, kind of, if you get right up in there, that it's pretty tight space in here, and there's a tangle of wires back there in that void where it's supposed to come. If you follow that red and black wire back and see that wrench handle falling down there, that's what I finally got to make it through that tangle of wires. So that's a 1-inch wrench just dropped on down there. The wires themselves and the wires in lighter items didn't make it down, but that 1-inch wrench kept on falling when it fell into any resistance. As you can see, we had to take the furnace apart again, all the ducting, and now I'm going to take and I'm going to pull that wire down, and then I'm going to go back up on the roof, and I'm going to tape the other wire to it and pull it on down here so we can make it all the way through and get both wires down here so we can eventually hook the solar panels up to the charge controller. So let's see, you may or may not be able to see this, but I'm going to reach back there, grab it, and pull. See how I got it all taped together, pull it through here, and now we have one wire down from the roof. And you see how I taped all around it at the top where the wrench was, just in case I had to pull it back up. It wouldn't provide much resistance going back. This is the mess that we have on the roof right now, trying to get these wires down there. I had 2 vents here, and I miscalculated. That one being the vent to the black tank, which is actually sitting above the gray tank, so it doesn't make a path all the way down. And this one right here being the vent to the gray tank, and that one's below the black tank, and it actually makes it all the way down to where I need to be. I taped the wires to that bracket there, just in case. I didn't want to be able to pull them all the way down, just in case. I wanted to make sure I didn't go through all the work of getting it down there and then yank the wires all the way through. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to get the black wire down. Alright, so you can see we got both wires down now. So we got black and red down here, and we need to go up on top and actually put the junction box up there and get that all set and ready to go. Probably need to drill a hole next to the vent so that it can go, the wire can go into it and go smoothly down. But that's how we ran the wire from the roof down to the basement. Of all the things in this solar project that made me a little bit nervous, it was cutting that hole right there. But it worked out. We were able to cut the hole, move the wires over from that hole, which is a vent hole, to that hole, which will then be covered up by that combiner box. And then we'll run all the solar panels into the combiner box, and it'll go down to the bottom. So now I need to clean this up, clean that up, put all this, fasten this all down, and die core everything so we don't have any leaks. I will probably buy a few more of these and replace them before I'm finished with the whole job. If you're doing this, I would recommend you, if you're going to go the vent route, get yourself a new vent, because as you can see right there, the sun has baked these and they've cracked. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of MacGyvering in order to get that to seal until I get new ones. All right, so we finally, after months and months and months of procrastination, have put our combiner box up here, and we have connected our solar panels to the combiner box, and it runs down to the charge controller. Went with 2 series strings of 4 panels connected in parallel, putting 80 volts down to the charge controller. And we're supplying a 24-volt battery bank and inverter, so that's within our specs. So I just got to seal it up and actually get up the courage to go down there and flip the switch on it.